Hi everyone, this is Neeraj Jaiswal from neeracademy.com. Welcome to the episode. In this episode, you will learn about the arguments in the functions. One very useful feature of functions in Swift is that it can take variable number of arguments. I'll just show you an example where I'll declare a function where it will take variable number of arguments. So I'll just add the famous function keyword. I'll name the function as sum of. It will basically add up the numbers. Right now I don't know how many numbers I'll need to pass, so I will just leave 3 dots. This means it can have any number of arguments. I'll return the value, the total sum of it. Let me add the code for it. Declare the sum, the variable sum. I'll iterate over the numbers. And then I'll just do the summation. I'll return the final value of sum after the iteration, and as you can see, we have left this thing. So equal to sign was missing, that's why it was giving you a warning. So now the warnings are gone. Now I will use this function. In this particular function, initially I don't have any numbers, so I'll call it like this. See, the result of this function is 0. Now I'll just call it as passing just single argument. It should return me the value 1. Now I will pass around 5 arguments. 1 comma 1 comma 1, all comma separated values. So it is returning me 5. If you want, you can pass different type of values, or rather I'll say distinct values. 1 2 3 4 5, and here it will return you the value 15. So as you can see, you can pass n number of arguments when the signature of the function is like this and the function is declared with 3 dots. Next very useful feature of function is nested functions. Let me show you what I mean by this. We'll simply create a function return 15. It will return a value integer. Now I'll declare a variable y is equal to 10. Now inside this I'll create another function, add, and I'll do this operation out here, and I'll call this function inside this return 15 only. I'll call the add function inside return 15 and I will return the value y. Now I'll call the function return 15. Yeah, as you can see, it has returned the value 15, and inside this I am using this nested function. Now moving ahead, sweep functions are first class type. What I mean is that a function can return another function as its value. I'll show you how. Let us create a function incrementer. Now this is where it gets interesting. This doesn't take any argument, but here I am going to return a function which will take a value as integer and return an integer. Literally I am creating the signature of that function here. So inside this I'll create a nested function and I will return this function. Inside this I'll just return 1 plus number. Basically I'll increase it by 1, and then I will return this function itself as the return value. This is how you return a function. So when you make a call to, I'll just copy this here. So when you call, now if this is a function, and if I use it as a function, see exactly what happens. It returns the value 8. So here this method returned the function add1. Now add1, when I pass the value 7, it returned 8. So this is the way you can return a function. Now let me tell you something about how to pass a function as one of the argument to another function. Isn't that wonderful? Let me share it exactly how you can do it in Swift. We'll start with the famous func keyword. I'll create a function by the name has any matches. Basically I'll try to match here. couple of argument, condition is another function. As you can see, I am passing the function here, so I will have to have its signature as it declared here, as a type here. I'll iterate over the list. Now I'll just use this function condition. I'll pass the item in that particular list to this function which has been passed to me and return true. Now I'll create another function less than 10. This is what the condition will be. Return number less than 10. So if the number is less than 10, it will return true. Now let us make a call, declare a variable number 7 something 12, and then we'll call the function has, we'll pass the numbers as the list and this function as the argument. Yeah, this is the where we have written a, you need to put the default return out here. Now it should be fine. As you can see, you can pass the function less than 10 to has matches. You just need to make sure while declaring the signature, you have to basically write down the signature of the function which is to be passed. This is how you pass a function to another function. So that's all in this episode. This is Neeraj Jaiswal from neeracademy.com signing off from the episode. Happy swifting and have a wonderful time.